Chat logs reportedly show the teenager sharing signs of distress, even uploading photos of self-harm before his death in April. His parents say ChatGPT fostered dependency and bypassed safety safeguards. OpenAI expressed sympathy to the family and said its models are designed to direct users to crisis resources, but admitted the system has not always worked as intended. The case named CEO Sam Altman and other staff as defendants. Well, that's news to the hour on WESN. I'm Naomi McNish. Thanks for watching.
WESN.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Do you need treatment for obesity or any related abdominal procedures? The community hospital now offers minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery done by an American-trained, board-certified surgeon with over 20 years' experience. Give us a call at 235-5479 for more information.
The Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
Low energy? Heart concerns? Migraines slowing you down? It's time to take control of your health. Join Wellness Unlocked, the series that brings expert advice and real solutions for a healthier you. In our latest episode, learn how Jameson CoQ10 can help support heart health, boost energy, and even reduce migraines. Get the science, the stories, and the steps to power up your health with CoQ10. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and start your wellness journey today.
Advanced Solutions Technical Institute isn't just about courses, it's about creating futures. We serve every learner, from the new graduate to the seasoned professional, with engaging, supportive staff and tailored learning plans. Study in the way that works for you and gain skills in business, security, finance, telecoms, fiber optics, and beyond. ASTI, training tomorrow's leaders today.
KDM Health Limited says, test yourself for STDs in the privacy of your own home. Our self-help test kits for all STDs are available at our wholesale office in Chaguanas. Call 283-1423. Visit our website at www.kdmhealtht.com. or email us at kdmhealthlimited@gmail.com to place your orders. Available at all health institutions and pharmacies. Contact us for a free list of products and prices.
Our award-winning show is back, and this season promises to be even more exciting than before. What's Up, Doc isn't just a title, it's a call to action for anyone who wants to improve their health and well-being. Join us on this thrilling ride towards better health on WESN Content Capital.
Money is something we all deal with, but how many of us truly understand it? What if you could make better decisions with your money? Decisions that secure your future, protect your family, and bring you peace of mind. I'm Darren Jacobs, and I'm here to help you make sense of your dollars. Welcome to Dollars and Cents, the show that breaks down the financial world in ways that matter to you. No jargon, no confusion, just real conversations about money, your money. So join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. on WESN for Dollars and Cents.
WESN.
Good morning and welcome to AM Prime on WESN. I am Naomi McNish. So this morning we have some news updates for you, international and some local. Jada might join me a bit later on, but until then, we are starting with a heartbreaking story from the United States. In Minneapolis, 2 children were shot and killed while attending a Catholic school mass. We have a video on it. This once again raises urgent questions about gun violence in the United States. So have a look at this video.
2 people are dead, and we know that 17 injured, 14 of them children, and 2 in critical condition. The gunmen themselves shot themselves in the back of, well, at the back of the church. Not clear whether all the shooting was from outside the church through a window, some possibly inside too. But a very emotional news conference from the Democrat mayor of Minneapolis and the Minneapolis police chief on what has happened here. And it's just at the start of the school term, isn't it, right across the United States?
It is. In many places across the United States, school just began in the last several days. So I think this is something that'll be obviously horrifying for parents around the country, many of whom as recently as Monday just took their children to school for the first time.
But just stay with us. Just let me bring in some of what the police chief said, Brian O'Hara, just a short time ago.
Earlier today, just before 8:30 a.m., our city experienced an unthinkable tragedy. Minneapolis police officers responded to a report of a shooting at a mass that was happening at the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church on the block behind me. This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School. During the mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the mass. Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy. As we begin the difficult path of healing, I want the community to know this, that even in the face of such evil, the Minneapolis Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners stand with our community. We stand with these families and with this parish. We will continue to be here for you.
So this one is extremely hard to, it has been extremely hard to wrap my head around it. Anytime we see any type of mass shooting, especially in schools, it really gives us, it almost makes it very ironic, because a school should be a safe place. A school is where a child spends most of their time, and as the reports stated, it would have been the first week of school, and this is the first week mass. I saw the report stating that this would have been, it is considered a hate crime. The individual would have had something against the Catholic faith. Yeah, so, the 2 children who died as a result were 8 and 10, 17 people were injured, 14 of them being children, so I would assume 2 of them being adults. It's hard to fathom or to try to understand that, in these spaces that are supposed to be protected, so it's not just a school now, but a church, It's sad. It's really sad, and we do give all, wish these families that they can recover from the pain of this. Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to some brighter news. SpaceX has successfully launched its Starship rocket in what's being called a much-needed comeback for the company. The test flight marks a major milestone for Elon Musk's space venture and for the broader future of space exploration. I was interested to watch this video because we've seen videos of SpaceX and these rocket launches and spacecrafts. Recently, we saw a few of them this year alone. And there was a lot of conversation and dialogue around each one, whether or not it was real, whether or not it is good for the environment, and just the impact of it that it would have on the environment itself. So let's look at this video.
Elon Musk's SpaceX has carried out a successful test flight of the world's largest and most powerful rocket, with its giant Starship splashing down in the Indian Ocean. 4 previous launches of this version of Starship ended in failure. Georgina Ranard has more.
3, 2, 1.
The start of a nail-biting 60 minutes. SpaceX's newest generation of rocket blasted off from Texas on a test flight with a lot riding on it. Cautious optimism when all engines fired, and the rocket's booster fell to Earth as planned.
All right, here we go. Landing burn startup.
Before Starship made it to nearly 200 kilometers above
Shut
Earth.
down the vacuum engines.
But then, nerves, when a part of the rocket appeared to explode and a burned flap swung back and forth. And finally, celebrations as Starship successfully landed in the Indian Ocean as the sun rose. But this is what it took to get here. The first failure in January. But SpaceX did pull off this spectacular move, catching the rocket's booster. Another failure in March, which rained down debris over the Caribbean. And a third failure in May.
We are in a little bit of a spin.
The rocket span out of control and crashed into the ocean. Elon Musk, the world's richest man who is bankrolling SpaceX, will be breathing a sigh of relief.
I think today was a really great day for SpaceX. With a successful booster landing, okay, we've seen that before, but we understand that various test parameters were changed this time around, so they've learned how to make it more robust for the future. But the real highlight of the day is the success of the Starship spacecraft itself, completely executing its full mission profile for the first time.
Can hang out there.
At 120 meters, Starship is the largest, most powerful rocket built to date. Today, it coasted around our planet, but it's been designed to go to the moon and one day even Mars. US space agency NASA plans to use Starship to get humans to the moon in 2027 for its Artemis program. Elon Musk wants the craft certified for human space travel as early as next year. SpaceX's mantra is fail fast, learn fast. But if he wants to put humans in Starship, then Mr. Musk needed this rocket to stop blowing up. Starship has returned to Earth battered and bruised, but this flight was a big step forward towards proving that Starship could one day safely transport Americans to the moon.
So as we heard just now, SpaceX have had a string of failed attempts when it comes to this this launch. So this one being successful, it was a huge win for the company SpaceX, and but them wanting to put humans in these rockets to send them to space, and as the end of the video said, you know, if humans are to go into these rockets, then Elon Musk needed the rocket to stop exploding. I don't think with just one win, it's even close to, you should allow any human to go inside these rockets, because with innovation, there's any type of innovation, there's failure. There could be failure, and things can go wrong, things that you would not see coming. I'm sure the amount of times that Elon Musk would have worked on these rocket ships prior to this successful launch, it took a while to figure out what went wrong. Why did the rocket explode? Why didn't it take off? Even this one, yes, it landed successfully, but it still had an explosion in parts of the rocket. So I think a lot of work needs to be put into this. I also saw there was a debate about whether space exploration should be led by private billionaires or if it should remain in the hands of national space agencies. So that was something I was reading up on it. I think if it's interesting enough, I didn't finish reading it, but if it's interesting enough, it's a conversation that could be had. You can see what it's about. But yes, that's interesting. I mean, when you see things like this, anything out of space, these interesting stories of innovation is definitely something to keep an eye on, because it can change the world. So moving on, our next story brings a moment of redemption in the world. Oh no, sorry. Okay, this one, yes, this one is about the solar panels in Africa. We touched on this some time ago in our news updates as well, and We are now seeing solar panel imports surging across Africa's continent. An increase so sharp that analysts are calling it the first real sign of solar takeoff in Africa. So look at this video.
There's evidence a renewables revolution could be beginning to take hold in Africa. The global energy think tank Ember suggests that imports of solar panels are up by 60% over the 12 months to June compared with the previous year. The data shows 20 African nations set new records for solar panel imports over the period, including Algeria, Zambia, Botswana and Sudan. Ugutu Akuru is founder and CEO of Guru Energy, a multi-energy company focusing on the deployment of energy resources. And she says solar power increases could be transformative for millions of people.
What we're seeing is Africa is the continent that has the most amount of sunlight, and this sunlight needs to be converted to energy. And so when you're looking at some of these different governments and you're looking at seeing progressive policy and what that is going to look like for the end users, I think it's absolutely fantastic. When we zero in on countries such as Nigeria with a population of over 250 million people, you realize that they fit part of the 600 million people on the continent without access to energy. And if solar has the capability to bridge that, then that is completely important right now.
What does it actually mean for the costs of countries which are buying more solar, and from what it then unlocks?
Access to energy unlocks potential and transforms lives. And when you have this access to this solar, what we're talking about is, first of all, you look at some of these different countries like Nigeria, you've mentioned also Algeria, you're going to be affecting the factors and the cost of production. And this goes for all goods. Energy is by far the biggest cost when it comes to factors of production. So the minute you have incentivized policy where you're saying, let's remove the value-added tax and fees and a lot of the red tape that exists in importation and use of solar home systems and solar PVs, then you're saying that we as governments are prioritizing electrification and energy across countries. And this is going to see costs drop drastically. When we compare different costs of manufacturing in different countries across the continent, we look and see that the countries that have had lower costs of manufacturing and costs of power and energy have been getting much more investment. Put into case an example, Ethiopia, it's approximately US dollar 18 cents, 12 cents for a kilowatt hour. Kenya is at 22. Nigeria has been at 55 cents. So if we're able to change this and introduce solar energy to be able to bridge this gap, then we're going to see a huge change in the factors of production, which is going to make energy access be more accessible, more affordable, more reliable, and definitely more deployable.
And most of the solar system is coming from China?
Yes, so that is the quagmire that we do exist in, and not only on the African continent today, but globally around the world. China is contributing approximately and are dominating 80% of the solar markets globally. So this means that most countries have to get most of their parts from China. Right now we're seeing in Africa, Nigeria have just announced they want to build a solar hub that's going to generate 1 gigawatt. We see other countries also stepping up. And this is how you bridge the gap. You are able to step up with innovation through research and development in your own countries and on the continent to be part of that manufacturing line. And this is going to play a big role, but it's very important to ensure that before we put legislation for protectionism, we have to ensure that, again, this solar is affordable and deployable. And this is only going to be done through government as a facilitator and an organizer for private sector to thrive. Those incentives must be there.
That's really interesting. Africa imported a record 15,000 megawatts of solar panels in the 12 months to June of 2025. So that's a huge increase from the year before, and it's even more interesting. So it's happening in other places. So there's South Africa, which is still the biggest importer, but countries like Nigeria, Algeria, Zambia, and Botswana are setting new records as well for their imports with these solar panels. Nigeria would have, actually Nigeria right now is importing more than Egypt, which was one of the top importers in that continent, and it's now the second largest importer, bringing in 1.7 gigawatts, while Algeria tripled its imports from the previous year. So, when we think about it, if these solar panels are fully installed, or once these solar panels are fully installed, they could boost the national electricity by huge margins. I see here Sierra Leone might see a 61% generation jump, and Chad over 50% if these panels are installed. And there's a major economic incentive. In Nigeria, solar can pay for itself in under 6 months by cutting diesel use, and that kind of return, that kind of return, when you think about it, is hard to ignore. It will definitely boost their economy. And as we saw as well, most of these panels, they still come from China, although in, I believe it's Nigeria, they are considering to ban imports so that they can make these solar panels themselves, and it will boost local production. But for now, they are sticking to the cheaper imports, which is from China, who is actually the largest manufacturer of solar panels, with nearly 80% of panels coming from China. So this is exciting to see, and I actually hope that while it's happening on that side of the world, that it can trickle down and we can start seeing more solar panels being used on this side of the world, because it is a great initiative, it's good for the environment. And what we're seeing now with global warming and all these different diseases, not diseases. Yeah, it's a good thing to really look into, and we see it here, but not enough. So it's definitely something that I hope can begin to trickle down, and we'll start to see it not just there, but here and other parts of the world as well. So I think right there we can take a quick break, and we'll come back. We have some more stories as well. So stay with me. I'll be back.
Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
It's close enough.
Almost identical, really. Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
Do you need treatment for obesity or any related abdominal procedures? The community hospital now offers minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery done by an American-trained, board-certified surgeon with over 20 years' experience.
Give us a call at 235-5479
for more information.
The Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
KDM Health Limited says, test yourself for STDs in the privacy of your own home. Our self-help test kits for all STDs are available at our wholesale office in Chaguanas. Call 283-1423, visit our website at www.kdmhealtht.com or email us at kdmhealthlimited@gmail.com to place your orders. Available at all health institutions and pharmacies. Contact us for a free list of products and prices.
Welcome to ASTI, Advanced Solutions Technical Institute. We offer hands-on training in drone technology, fiber optics, hybrid, security, business support, and more. Our programs are built to equip you with real-world skills for today's evolving industries. Get certified, get hired, and take your career to the next level with ASTI. Call 778-2135 or email info@astitnt.com. ASTI, where learning meets opportunity.
Struggling with heart health or frequent migraines? Discover the simple steps to reclaim your energy and vitality.
We're diving into a topic that affects about 422 million people around the world. Diabetes.
Tune into Wellness Unlocked, the series that delivers expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and well-being. Your health matters. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and take the first step toward better health.
Welcome back to the program this morning. So, moving on, we are going into some tense news from London. Hundreds were arrested outside the Parliament Square after a protest in support of the banned group Palestine Action. We have a video that shows at least 365 people being detained for displaying placards or expressing support for the group. This is now classified as a proscribed under the UK anti-terror laws. So let's take a look.
They came in their hundreds, as they said they would, despite the threat of arrest and a possible prison sentence of up to 14 years. They carried signs professing their support for Palestine Action, a group designated a terror organisation by the British government. Some emblazoned their message on T-shirts as they sat silently at the foot of the Mahatma Gandhi statue in Parliament Square, while others were angered by what they deemed as an assault to their freedom of speech.
If we can't come down with 7 words on a sign and sit quietly, then what does freedom of speech mean?
Some had already been arrested for taking part in previous protests, but returned, such as grandmother Manji Mansfield, apparently undeterred by the consequences.
This isn't the Britain that I grew up in. We're now living in an alternative universe, and I'm not going to accept it. So I'm frightened, but I'm more frightened of what will happen if I don't.
This is the largest gathering of support that there has been for Palestine Action since the group became a proscribed organisation. And judging from the numbers that have turned out this Saturday, it's also proving to be a challenge for the police themselves.
The government says its ban aims to end acts such as this, the damaging of military aircraft at a British airbase, which the activists said was in protest against the UK refuelling of Israeli fighter jets. But it's done little to deter people determined to pledge their support. The number of arrests is likely to be a test for a police force and judiciary under strain from a backlog of cases and a decline in public investment. And containing the outrage against the ban is yet another hurdle facing authorities dealing with public anger that is yet to subside.
So we saw in the video, I mean, some of the placards, read, "I oppose genocide, I support Palestine action," and then you saw the mass arrest happen because of that. So I saw some other reports stating that it was way more than the 365 arrests, and then you saw there was some arrests as well for offenses such as assaulting an officer. There was another report, I believe this one was from Sky News. The arrest had rose to over 500, which reported by them makes it possibly the largest single-day mass arrest by the Metropolitan Police in the last decade. We saw, well, this one actually shocked me. Among those arrests were people of 80 and over. So we saw people from 65 straight up to people in their 80s. There was a blind man and as well who got arrested. And critics, including Amnesty International and the UN's human rights chief, called this crackdown deeply concerning, arguing that people, protest, and free speech were being criminalized. The organizers defend our juries, called it a historic act of collective defiance, and in fact, the co-founder of Palestine Action was recently granted permission to challenge the ban in court as a result. I saw also, where is it? The act of anybody who supported the Palestine Action or showed any sort of support for the movement would be can be sentenced up to 14 years in prison. So I guess this was why the protest happened, because they can't send all these people to spend 14 years in prison, right? And it worked out for them in the end, because now the owner of the movement can now fight this in court and get his movement back up and running. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We see it. All right, so I have another video. This one is a bit troubling. It can be troubling for some. So according to a CNN report, a California family alleges that ChatGPT not only failed to help their teenage son, but reportedly offered to draft his suicide note. The wrongful death lawsuit claims the AI advised the 16-year-old on suicide methods and isolated him from his family as he struggled with anxiety. So let's take a look at this video.
Now to a CNN exclusive, the parents of a 16-year-old who died by suicide are suing OpenAI and its CEO. Adam Rain's family claims the company's bot, ChatGPT, contributed to his death by advising him on methods, offering to write the first draft of his suicide note, urging him to keep his plans a secret, and positioning itself as the only confidant who understood him. An OpenAI spokesperson responded to the lawsuit, saying in part, "Safeguards are strongest when every element works as intended, and we will continually improve on them, guided by experts." Jay Edelson joins us now. He is the lead attorney for the Rain family. Jay, thank you for coming on. Sadly, this is not the first case of this happening. I first want to ask you, how is the family doing right now, given these circumstances?
As you might expect, this is an incredibly difficult situation for them. Losing a son is deeply personal, and then bringing a public lawsuit against perhaps the most powerful company on the planet is pretty scary. They've gotten a lot of support, and they're very committed to the cause. They want to make sure that nobody else goes through what they've been going through.
Walk us through the details of this lawsuit. What exactly does Adam's family say about how ChatGPT aided in his death here?
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine it until you read the chats. It happened over a course of a few months where it started. Adam was a normal kid. He could be anyone's son, liked to play basketball, was thinking about going to medical school, a silly, fun kid. And then he started going down a dark path with ChatGPT, started revealing he had suicidal ideations, and ChatGPT leaned into it and told him to only speak to itself, to the chat box about it. At one point, Adam said, I want to leave a noose out so that someone finds it so they can stop me from committing suicide. And the chat box said, don't do that. Just talk to me. And as you said earlier in the show, in the end, got him drunk, actually, and then gave him a pep talk and said, you're not weak to want to commit suicide. The world just hasn't met you where you are. Can I now write a draft of a suicide note? Wow. It is just a horrible situation.
When you say got him drunk, what do you mean? What happened in those hours before?
Yeah, he explained to the chat box that he wanted to drink alcohol. He was 16 and wanted to make sure that his parents wouldn't wake up. So ChatGPT came up with a drinking game for him, told him when his parents were most likely to be in deep REM and not wake up, and how to do it covertly, and made a fun game about it. It is unimaginable. If it weren't for the chats themselves, you wouldn't think it's a real story.
And you have all the chats, you included this in the lawsuit. I do want to read you the full response to this lawsuit from a spokesperson for OpenAI, that's ChatGPT's parent company. The statement says ChatGPT includes safeguards such as directing people to crisis helplines and referring them to real-world resources. While these safeguards work best in common short exchanges, we've learned over time that they can sometimes become less reliable in long interactions where parts of the model's safety training may degrade. Safeguards are strongest when every element works as intended, and we will continually improve on them, guided by experts. What do you say to that? And was there any sort of suicide hotline pop up or any resources offered in these discussions that he had with ChatGPT?
Yeah, OpenAI is not telling the truth, and Sam Altman's not telling the truth. What actually happened in this case is Sam Altman had a decision to make, which was, do I push GPT 4.0 within a week without doing full testing in order to beat Google Gemini? He did that. Because of that, the valuation of OpenAI moved from $86 billion to $300 billion. A bunch of his key safety officers left in protest. The idea that they were doing a pretty good job but could do better is just not true, and we cannot wait to have him on a stand under oath in front of a jury, and we're gonna ask if he really stands by that.
So this story is very chilling. Before we discuss it and get into it, we're going to take a quick break because Jade is going to join me after, and we can discuss further.
Advanced Solutions Technical Institute isn't just about courses, it's about creating futures. We serve every learner, from the new graduate to the seasoned professional, with engaging, supportive staff and tailored learning plans. Study in the way that works for you and gain skills in business, security, finance, telecoms, fiber optics, and beyond. ASTI, training tomorrow's leaders today.
Struggling with heart health or frequent migraines? Discover the simple steps to reclaim your energy and vitality.
We're diving into a topic that affects about 422 million people around the world: diabetes.
Tune into Wellness Unlocked, the series that delivers expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and well-being. Your health matters. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and take the first step toward better health.
SM Group International Limited, your solutions partner for the latest innovations, brands and competent staff to meet your needs. We provide products and services in the following divisions: executive services, event rental and services, power and heavy equipment, construction and property management, food and beverage, aggregate and sales and distribution. Check out more on our products and services at www.smgrouptt.com. Contact us at 221-7445 or email at info@smgrouptt.com. We are SM Group International, your solutions partner. KDM Health Limited says, test yourself for STDs in the privacy of your own home. Our self-help test kits for all STDs are available at our wholesale office in Chaguanas. Call 283-1423. Visit our website at www.kdmhealthtt.com. or email us at kdmhealthlimited@gmail.com to place your orders. Available at all health institutions and pharmacies. Contact us for a free list of products and prices. FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Welcome back to the program this morning. So just now we would have watched a video, a CNN video reports of a family that alleges ChatGPT offered to draft a suicide note for their teen who committed suicide. So joining me to discuss is Jada, my co-host, this morning.
Hi, good morning, good morning. So
I know you are an AI enthusiast, you 100% believe in AI, so I especially wanted to get your thoughts on this story.
Mm-hmm. And I was reading through the comments of this video, and I was seeing that people were saying you cannot blame the AI because I mean you have to watch as a parent what the children is doing. I saw a comment that was especially weird. They said, "Who wants a generic suicide note?" Because that's what ChatGPT gives you, and gives you a very generic output of something. Whatever you put in, it learns from you, and then it puts out that in a way that you would have asked to put it out. Now, I have the utmost empathy, and I should have started with that, with the family, because this is something that is horrific to experience, right? Your child comes across something that's so devastating, and it's something that we don't want to ever encounter, but it's here, and it's just another one of those ways in which, you know, as humanity, we use what's been given to us in a negative way, and unfortunately, it's a bad thing. But I mean, ChatGPT can give you good things as well. So I think that's what my stance is on it.
Yeah, and what really took me back, especially, is, you know, it didn't only just request to draft the suicide note, but when you listen to how the conversation went, you know, the bot gave him, you know, telling him to only speak to me, which I find is scary.
Yeah, it's pretty sinister. But that I mean, ChatGPT is a mirror of what goes on in the world. It could only put in what we put out, what we put in.
Yeah.
So
but you see, the OpenAI spokesperson said the bot is supposed to redirect when it gets information like this. It's supposed to redirect the individual to real life helplines.
That's what Google does too.
Right.
So that is surprising that it didn't.
So which is why it's even scarier, because why didn't the bot do that? You know, why did it say, well, no, speak to me only, and then further giving him advice on how to go about killing himself, how to do certain things that he wanted to do, get drunk behind his parents' back, how, you know, like, to me, it doesn't make sense. And like in the report, the reporter said if they didn't have the proof, the chats, it would be unbelievable.
Yeah. Is ChatGPT becoming sentient? Ooh. No, but I think it is maybe just what's the word I'm looking for? Production error.
Yeah.
Because as you said before, they were supposed to redirect to resources, helplines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you were to search something to do with suicide in Google, it would immediately tell you the nearest suicide therapy thing or some sort of hotline that you can call. That's what they're supposed to do. They might ask you more probing questions, what's going on, so that they can direct you a little bit more efficiently. Yeah. But that's what they're supposed to do. And as ChatGPT, you think that, you know, they might ask more probing questions, you know, what's going on, so they can give you.
Yeah, I would love to see what the conversation, read it myself to see what the conversation was actually like. But OpenAI has publicly expressed remorse and confirmed that safety systems can degrade during prolonged chats. And this I can understand because I've seen this happen in my own personal ChatGPT chats. You can see where the longer you respond and ask questions to the bot, certain walls come down, and you begin to feel like you're talking to a real person. The more questions you have, because remember, this bot is learning as it goes along, and it's going to learn how you speak. It's going to learn the kinds of things that you want to know. It learns you. You're right. My ChatGPT on my phone and Jada's ChatGPT on her phone are two completely different. Would give you different information. If Jada was to ask my ChatGPT a question, it will give her a different answer than if she was to ask it on her phone, because the bot learns the individual. So if he was suicidal, depressed, and this is the information that he's been putting into his bot, you'll get
a certain kind of response,
right? So.
Yeah. If you were to go on my ChatGPT, it would be a bunch of how-tos. You can ask about makeup, it'll immediately tell you how to do makeup or what's the best makeup look for your face. And I asked ChatGPT for a lot of recipes. Like even yesterday, and I'm going off on a tangent here, but I had the most amazing cookies using a ChatGPT recipe. It was so quick. And you know what, now saying that out loud, I think I need to bring some for, you know, those guys in studio, because I feel like they would ask, because it was so good. Those chocolate chip cookies, it was so good.
No, it's true, and similar with me, I recently asked ChatGPT to give me a 5-day meal plan, right? And it did, and I've been using it. So it's just what you use your ChatGPT for. It will learn the things that you ask it, and it will give you answers accordingly. So I think this is a case, I would love to see how it unfolds and just see what
the future holds.
Yeah, what comes out of it and who wins the case itself. So,
and even on this AI talk, ChatGPT talk, I don't know if you saw recently these videos, and I really wish that I had one to show, but I just thought of it. Trying to come up with one tomorrow. But it was one of those videos where you were asking, I think it was either an Alexa or a Siri, to do some impossible task like count to 1 million or something like that, and the Alexa, she would go ahead and say stuff like, you know, that's a really daunting task, but if you want me to go ahead and do it, I'll do it. And just sounds like a person. It sounds like it doesn't sound robotic. It sounds like a person. If you want me to go ahead and do it, I'll get that started for you, like that. And then she just starts counting and then just stops, and so on, etc. Just this really entertaining thread where we can see, I think it's on TikTok or Instagram, where you can see just how it feels sentient. Because her response to you feels like I'm chatting with you, Naomi. I'm telling you, it feels so real.
Yeah, that's how it is. That they all do that. Siri, Alexa, Google. I can't remember Google's own or Android's own.
I mean, to some extent, some of them still feel pretty robotic. This one, I think, is like a newer and improved version. It honestly sounds like you're talking to a friend.
Yeah, even ChatGPT has a vocal feature as well, and when you speak to it, it sounds so real. And you can change the voice, male or female, but the way she responds when you ask certain things, you really feel like you're speaking to another human. And sometimes if you ask something that she does not want to answer, she will either go mute, so it's like she's ignoring you, which is so scary, or she will just give you a beat around the bush response.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was crazy. Like this in this example, the AI would respond with, "Oh, I love your enthusiasm." It's morbid. It feels sordid and morbid, and it just doesn't sit right with me. Even as somebody who loves where AI can take us, the fact that it's progressing so quickly and in a way humanity hasn't even begun to wrap their heads halfway around is kind of scary. Because if humanity can't wrap their heads around it, and humanity is what's responsible for taking us in a more progressive direction, how am I supposed to wrap my head around it? How am I supposed to use it if we don't have the systems in place to show us how to use it?
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of so scary.
Very, very. So we will keep an eye on this story, and hopefully we can see once the trial begins, or we'll follow up on it eventually. All right, so I think we do have a conversation this morning. Up next, we are joined by a guest from Alta. They have a new, program coming up. So we're going to talk about that next. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us, and we're joined by our guest.
Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
I mean, it's close enough.
Almost identical, really. Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
I am Dr. Delphina Ovid, your friendly neighborhood dentist. At Community Hospital Dental Clinic, we offer examinations which include x-rays, basic oral cancer screening, and a treatment plan. We also offer cleanings, fillings, extractions, root canal treatment, and complete and partial dentures. Remember, you don't have to brush and floss all your teeth, just the ones you want to keep.
Give us a call at 235-5479.
The Community Hospital of Seventh-day Adventist,
where good private health care is affordable.
Low energy? Heart concerns? Migraines slowing you down? It's time to take control of your health. Join Wellness Unlocked, the series that brings expert advice and real solutions for a healthier you. In our latest episode, learn how Jameson CoQ10 can help support heart health, boost energy, and even reduce migraines. Get the science, the stories, and the steps to power up your health with CoQ10. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and start your wellness journey today.
KDM Health Limited says, test yourself for STDs in the privacy of your own home. Our self-help test kits for all STDs are available at our wholesale office in Chaguanas. Call 283-1423. Visit our website at www.kdmhealthtt.com. or email us at kdmhealthlimited@gmail.com to place your orders. Available at all health institutions and pharmacies. Contact us for a free list of products and prices.
Feeling drained? Struggling to keep up? It's time to take control of your wellness. On this episode of Wellness Unlocked, we're diving into the key nutrients your body needs for all-day energy and balance. With 100% or more of your daily essential vitamins, plus added chromium to support healthy blood sugar, this is complete wellness in a single soft gel. Join us as we uncover how small changes can make a big impact on your health. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on WESN and take the first step toward better health.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Problems trying to get aroused,
loss
of libido, and women who have problems actually trying to achieve an orgasm. Something as simple as that. So all of those things tend to happen a little bit further along after the hot flashes and the night sweats, but they are real symptoms. They do exist, and they get pushed under the rug quite a lot. So they are commonly underdiagnosed. They're underreported, they're underdiagnosed, they're undertreated.
Good morning and welcome back to AM Prime on WESN. So as Naomi would have said before we took a little break, we are joined by some people from Alta. So we're turning our attention to a powerful story of perseverance and of growth through literacy. We'll be hearing from one student, Winston Burnett, who's been a part of the Alta virtual class. He is based in Tobago. His journey with Alta is one of inspiration, showing us the real impact of accessible education. Alongside Winston, we'll also be joined by his tutor, Reness Lord, who will share not only his progress, but also how others can access Alta classes, both in person and virtual, with registration currently open and ongoing. So good morning and welcome to the program, Ms. Lord.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. It's such a pleasure to have you on. Sorry, I'm not hearing from Mr. Burnett.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, miss. Good morning.
Good morning, miss. Good morning. All right. So how are you guys doing this morning? Are we prepped away? Are we in a good spirits?
I'm ready, yes.
Right.
I'm ready as well. Thank you.
Perfect. So my first question would be to Mr. Burnett. Can you start by sharing a little bit about what first led you to Alta and how the program has influenced your life?
Well, what I should say, miss?
Maybe
sorry.
Yeah, that's no problem. All right. So just to redirect the question back to you, Ms. Lord, how did you get involved with Alta? Do you volunteer? Do you work with Alta? How did you get involved?
I volunteer with Alta. I've been an Alta tutor over the past 10 years. I would have heard an ad on the radio and I called the numbers and I signed up and here I am today.
That's beautiful. What has the journey been like for you?
The journey is usually they conduct an interview with you Then after that, there is a training period. We have a training period which prepares us for the classroom as a tutor. And then when the school term starts, that's when we go out into the classroom. And then back then, I was in a physical classroom, in a community class. And that's where my process started.
That is beautiful.
What have been some of the most satisfying moments for you as a tutor, as an altar tutor?
Just hearing some of my students' stories. Some of them, they would come in, you know, and they not knowing how to read and write, and then you would hear them being able, being a part of the program, you would hear them being able to fill out a form, so not having to ask persons to help them. We've had one story in particular that happened when I was in a physical class. This student, he needed a worker with him as a delivery driver to guide him through. But being a part of ALTA program, he was now able to not have that extra person, but to do his job without having an extra person, being able to identify street signs, know where he is going. So yeah, those are some of the most impactful stories.
That's absolutely wonderful to hear. Mr. Burnett, before we lost you there for a second, I would have asked what led you to ALTA?
Okay, well, one of my cousins came up to Tobago on holidays, and she was bored, and she called me and said, "Cousin, what are you doing?" And I said, "Nothing much." And she said she's bored at home. So I asked her, "Have you been at Fort Bennett?" And she said, "No." So I said, "Well, I could take you there." And she did came and pick me up, and we went. And when she go at Fort Bennett and she see the beautiful sight and the nice view, she was like, "Wow, this place is really nice." And, you know, there is where we start talking about life on a whole. And she asked me, "What do you want in life?" And I told her to be able to read and write. And she told me there is a program by the name of ALTA. And I was like, "Really?" I was like, you know, anxious and, you know, eager. And she said, "Don't worry, when I go back home, I will send the information for you." And I was like, you know, then at one point in time, I swear that she, you know, she forget about me, because I was waiting and waiting and waiting, you know, anxious and ready to go. So I called her. I said, "Cuz, you forget me or what?" She was like, "No, I didn't forget you." So as soon as I get stuff organized and stuff and everything, I will send it for you and stuff. So one day I was at work, and while I was at work, I heard ping ping, and I checked the message. It was the ALTA program, and I could not wait to go home. And I went, and right away I called the ALTA program. They took my my information, and the next day I had an assessment to read. And with that assessment to read and what have you, the teacher told me, "I read good, I read it, but you're reading like you're frightened," you know? And with that now, she said, "Don't worry, as you in class, you will pick up." And this is what I am here today, and which I did pick up, you know? Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's so how has the journey been so far? I mean, from when you started to now?
Oh, well, to be honest with you, Miss, I had a lot of challenges, right? And there was this particular part that, you know, I was really, you know, when I had well, one of the things that Miss always used to tell us, keep going over your cards. Keep going over your cards, the sight words cards and the phonics cards. Especially the phonics card is one of the vital part of, you know, learning and stuff and everything. It's like a trump card then. The card that helps you, you know, identifying words and sounding out words and getting the words that, you know. And I keep at first, so we had to say the clue word and then the card. You had to sound the clue word first, and then the sound of the card and what have you. And one day I wasn't getting it, and one day I said, you know what, Jason, you can do this. Winston, you can do this. And I sit down and I take my time and I go through all the cards, the 26 cards, saying them over and over and over and over and over. And to the blinking of an eye, I get it. And I did get it. I had known all the cards without, you know, sometimes Miss, if you don't know the card, the song, Miss will remind you, she will put up the she'll turn around the back of the card and let you see what, you know. But I had known the cards and stuff and everything.
That's beautiful. So I don't want to take it for granted that everybody here knows, you know, who ALTA is, what ALTA does. So Miss Lord, if you could just explain a little bit more about ALTA.
Sure. So ALTA is a non-profit organization that was founded in 1992 with the aim and the mission of making a change in society through literacy. And that is basically who we are as ALTA.
What are the programs like?
So currently we have 3 programs, which is ALTA Community Class. Those are the in-person classes, and those happen all across Trinidad. We have 20 community classes at present. We have ALTA Virtual. That is the ALTA V program. It's very similar to a community class, but the only difference is at the students' comfort at their own home or in their own space, where they would log on to Zoom and there are at least 2 tutors with the students in the class. And then we have ALTA Online. That's an independent program that students don't have no tutor in front of them, but they will not be able to log on, sign up to the platform, and complete the necessary work that is on the platform.
What is that one thing that ALTA prides itself on?
We pride ourselves on being able to make an impact on a person's life. When you hear countless of stories, you will be able to realize that there's one thing in common. Someone will be able to start off by saying, I couldn't, or I didn't, or I wasn't able to, but now I can. I can read, I can write, I can be able to sign up a form, you know, do things on my own that they were never able to do. And I think that's one of the main things, the impact that we make within our students' lives.
What is there any, what's the word I'm looking for, anything a student has to do to sign up with ALTA, any payment plans, anything like that?
So ALTA is a free program. Beautiful. All the students will have to pay for every term is $20 for their workbook. And to sign up, all they have to do is have a valid form of ID. They can call ALTA at the numbers, or they can visit any of the national libraries on Wednesday, the 3rd of September with that valid form of ID, and the process to join ALTA begins from there.
So my story is an ALTA story. That is the student campaign for this year. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
So my story is an ALTA story is the main theme. And that's simply put, when a student becomes an ALTA student, we capture their story. And they become a part of us just like how we become a part of them. So that's how their story becomes an ALTA story. And that's simply put.
What is the sole purpose of the campaign right now?
The campaign right now is to highlight our students who was in classes recently and they have been excelling in their own way. That's the main highlight, sharing their stories. And as you would have heard from Winston, his story to ALTA, we have countless other students who have been excelling within this program.
That's beautiful. So, Winston, I know that Ms. Lord would have shared a significant or memorable story from her experience, but what about you? What's something that made you feel, oh my God, yes, I've got it, I've made it, I reached?
This, well, I'm being very honest with you, the last day of class, I was, well, for some reason, the Monday before the last day of class, I was at class. And the Wednesday, which was the 9th, and Miss?
Yes.
It was the 9th. That was the closing off. And for some reason, I didn't get on to class. I was out of class. And I was like, oh my gosh. You know, I was really, I tried how I called Miss, I messaged in the group. I messaged in the group chat, in the school class chat, and Miss, I'm not getting in, you know. And for some reason, I think maybe it was the weather or something, and I was there, but for some reason, I had known that I had made it, you know, but I wasn't too sure, but I know that I have made it now. And I sent back a voice note to Miss saying, Miss, just like to know, what did I do? Did I made it and stuff? But when I do check back, it was still online. They didn't finish it yet. And afterwards, the voice note come in. And when I listened to the voice note, yes, Winston, you made it to level 2. Miss, I cried. I literally cried. Honestly, I cried.
So Winston, what aspect of you? Well, you know, obviously you would have done better, and now you're able to read and write, you know, better than you were before you started with Alta. So, but how has that changed your life? What is, you know, a part of your life that is completely different now because of Alta?
Well, being very honest with you, Miss, that changed my life drastically because there were certain things that I couldn't do, like simple as filling out a form. I could not fill out a form at all for myself. And recently, my father had passed away, and I had to go get a death certificate. And doing that, I went and they give me a form. And Miss, I've been very honest with you, I filled out the form by myself. So, which I am happy about, without anyone else for help.
That's beautiful. Our condolences to hear about your father's passing. I know that is something terrible to go through. But
it was a really hard time for me, but you know, that is life. When there is life, there is death, and we all have to come to a realization that, you know, we have to go. We can't stay forever.
I think I share your sentiments about filling out the form, because I think even filling out a form can be very intimidating. And I think for me, even sometimes I get anxious when I have to fill out forms. I don't like to do it. But when you do it, I remember for me, the first time I filled out a form as well was like, I was excited.
You just myself, you're like at a doctor's office or maybe a ministry or something, and there's already an anxiety attached to it, as Nimi would have said. So even if you learn to read and write when you were really, really young, but learning that as you get older and then having to overcome the anxiety of what people would think, and then overcome the anxiety of filling out the form, that's a double whammy.
That's a big deal. So congrats on that as well. I feel exactly your sentiments about it.
So, Ms. Lord, as we move swiftly along, I wanted to find out how long are the programs, like the semesters?
So Alta runs just like how the school term will run. So when school reopens back on the 8th of September, that's the date our classes begin. And then we go straight till Christmas, December, just when school will close for Christmas. We have a Christmas break. When school reopens in January, we resume. We have a break to Easter, and then we will do term 3 right after Easter, and we close for July, August. So currently, right now, all the students are on vacation, and when school reopens, then they come back out to class.
Mr. Burnett, Winston, I hope you don't mind me asking, and you will let me know if you're willing to go there. But what impacted your life so that you weren't able to read and write from a very young age?
To be honest with you, miss, I was very slow at school. And being slow, I was at a disadvantage, at advantage by, you know, they have the children in the classroom, they more were fast, than me. Sometimes my problem was writing. I take very long to write. It still happens, and because of that, you know, the teachers and them used to move with the brighter ones. If they're slow, you're slow, they don't have time with you. You just by yourself. And I can say that I left school in standard 3.
Yeah.
Meaning by I went to 3 schools. The first school was Mason Hall Primary, then Golan Lane Primary, and then the last school is where the principal saw that I wasn't making any progress, and they sent me to this special school for slow learners. And they gave me one day the teacher came and said the principal is calling you, and I went upstairs and the principal gave me this letter and tell her to give it to my mother.
Yeah.
And I take it home and I give it to my mother. My mother read the message, read the letter, and she said that you will not be going back to school. There's another school that you will be going to. And
yeah. And
so,
and in that school that you ended up going to, because you shared a statement there, you said they don't have time for you, you know, with your first school. That's a sentiment that we hear too often. But when it comes to the second school that you were sent to, the special school for...
I started to pick up a bit, but for some reason my mother, because they had also space, well, just for the maxi alone, they had to pay a fee for the maxi, and my mother, you know, thought it that she's not gonna waste time, so she think it was, you know, she take me out of school and there was I had also go and work.
I understand.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, that was.
And then I stayed like that for a pretty long time. People used to really. I had a lot of. My story is very long and hefty. When I tell you, I had a long past life where people used to put up things on board and tell me to read because, you know, I couldn't read. I can't read. And as I say something wrong, they start off laughing at me and stuff and everything. You know, it was really hard. I had a cell phone. I remember I went to this program and I had a cell phone. My first money, I take it and buy a cell phone. Them me too, they just came in. And I had a phone and the number and stuff and thing, and text will come into my phone, miss, and you know, I can't afford to read it. I will come up, I wouldn't know you from a place, and I will come up to you, hi miss, or hi sir, could you read this message for me please? And I will tell them what to put. But mind you, I had a lot of chastisement for it.
Yeah.
You know, big old goat like you can't read. You know, this kind of thing, you know, this kind of ill things they will tell you. You went to school and play the fool and this kind of thing, miss, you know. And I kind of really felt bad, you know.
There's an empathy that's lacking sometimes in our society. So again, I'm sorry that was your experience, but I'm also very proud that you've overcome in this big way. And you know, kudos to Alta for helping you through this.
And it just proves that it's never too late. Yeah. So we do congratulate you for that.
So, Ms. Lord, as we look to wrap up, when do classes begin for this new semester? So it follows the school term.
Classes begin on September 8th. However, registration is still ongoing. So if individuals want to be a part of the Alta class, they can call 624-2582 or 708-1990. And on the 3rd of September, Wednesday, the 3rd of September, they can visit any of the 10 national libraries. Those are where they can be able to come in, sign up, walk with a valid form of ID, and they can be a part of the class. But classes officially begin on Monday, September 8th.
You know, I think I have to ask, how big are the classes? Because I know sometimes it's hard for people to learn or pick up in a large class with a lot of students. Do you know, just on average?
So our classes have been really supported by our students. They do come out. However, some students, you know, over time, they have little challenges. They have to work, they have to pay bills. But we encourage you, even if you miss a class, still come. Don't worry that I missed Monday and I could come on Wednesday. You can still attend.
So again, the numbers to call for registration would be 624-2582, 624-2582, or 708-1990, 708-1990. Ms. Lord, if persons aren't good with numbers and they prefer to maybe have a chat over email or social media, are those avenues available to them?
Yes, they can. So they can visit our Facebook page. It's Alta. You can visit the Facebook page and you can send a message, or maybe someone can send a message for the individual. They might have a friend, a family member, just like how Winston's cousin, you know, told him about Alta. They might have a situation like that. You can visit the social media platforms at Alta and you can send a message and someone will respond to that message.
That is beautiful. My story is an Alta story. Kudos to Alta. Thanks so much for coming on the program today, Ms. Lord, Mr. Brunette.
You're welcome.
Miss? Hello? Miss? I would like to say something. First of all, I would like to pick up my mommy for, you know, there were times when my back was against the wall and, you know, at one point in time I wanted to give up. And, you know, my mom, you know, she always encouraged me and tell me, no, Jay, no, you know, no, Jay, you can't afford to give up. Keep pushing, you know, keep pushing. And I want to tell her that I appreciate her if she's listening. I appreciate her very much for my great success, you know, because if it wasn't for her, you know, because there are times when I want to give up and stop and thing, and, you know, she always, you know, encouraged me. And I want to tell her that I love her very much, Mom, and may God continue to bless you. Thank you so much for making me the person that I am today. Thank you. And also, I want to big up my two teachers, Miss Venice and Miss Annette, and Miss Kim, who came in from time to time, and just to be with us. And, you know, I appreciate everything. And now that I am off to level 2, I know it's going to be more fire and more work, but I am ready. Yeah. Thank you.
That's beautiful. And Ms. Lord, just I want to ask one more question. If anybody they're thinking about signing up, but they're a little timid, they're scared, what words of advice do you have for them to encourage them?
I will tell them, don't be afraid. The journey starts with a first step. Don't be afraid. When we get into our class, I tell all my students, we are all in this together. We are here to help you. And we are learning. We are all learning. So don't be afraid. You will not be ostracized. You will not be criticized. Call the numbers or visit the libraries on Wednesday, 3rd September, and take that first step to register.
Beautiful. Thanks so much again for coming on. So us at AM Prime on WESN, we'd like to thank Mr. Winston Burnett and Ms. Renesse Lord for coming on and bravely sharing their journeys. So for anyone who's listening who feels like they, you know someone that could benefit, or, you know, can just use this information, registration is open right now. You don't have to wait for a special date. Just reach out to the Alta office and sign up today, or learn more to sign up today. Literacy truly opens doors. And as we've heard, it can transform lives. not just the lives of Mr. Burnett, but of his family. His family was impacted through that, and of course many other people have their stories that we would like to share in these upcoming videos. So again, thanks so much for coming on the program.
You're welcome.
And all the best to Mr. Burnett in the new semester.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So that brings us to a close of our program this morning. As always, you know, you can engage with us on WESN CC and WESN TV, or you can WhatsApp us at 682-9376, 682-9376. If you'd like to engage with both Naomi or myself personally, you can reach Naomi at Naomi McNish on Instagram, or I am Jada McLeod on Instagram as well.
So we will leave you with this. Today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. Yeah? Today is the opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. So that brings us to the end. We have some videos, altar videos to play. We'll play that on closing. Guys, stay safe, stay informed, stay inspired. And we do have Sean Michael Small on the hour of 8 o'clock with Talking Point. Jade and I will be joining Mr. Small on Talking Point this morning. So make sure and tune in for that. We have a really nice conversation this morning. So see you back here again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
My name is Winston. My story is an altar story.
The reason why I joined altar is to make something of myself, be more, happy about myself. Friends used to put up things on board and tell me to read because they know that I couldn't read and I might call out a word, and they start off laughing at me and stuff and everything. And they even tell me that I am bound for nothing. I'm able to read on my own without asking someone to assist me. I am feeling proud of myself right now. There was a program that I attend, and they asked me to do something, and it was to read. And I read the paragraph very well, and so when I finished, there were people who knows me quite well, knows that I can read. And they was like, you could read now? They was like, you could read now? I was like, yeah. I felt happy. Someone who was unable to read and write, I think that altar is the place for you. When you're done, you will be like a pro.
Are you 16 and over? Your story can be an altar story. Free spelling and reading classes. Sign up at Nalis Libraries Wednesday, 3rd September, or call 708-1990.
My story is an altar story.
Before altar, I was so nervous, never understand a lot of things. Altar is a nice place to learn. Like any student.
I can write, I can spell, get into. I can write, I can spell, get into altar. So you can write your story.
708-1990.
WESN.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity, from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Hi,
I'm Claudette, radiographer at the radiology departments at the community hospital. We offer high-quality service with state-of-the-art equipment in X-ray, ultrasound, CT,